Yes, I am streaming from my car today because this is a day in my life. Day 2 of May Live Day. I hope that y'all can hear me okay. Like I said, as you can see, I am sitting in my car. I am having to stream from my car today. This was not the plan. This was not the plan. I had a totally different plan for this live today, but it is what it is. Here we are. She's getting it done. It's ironic though that today's live would be a day in my life because I can honestly say that I can count on one hand the days that I have waken up and my day actually goes to plan. Like it actually, like, oh my gosh, this is what I want to do today and this is what actually happens. Like I could do a this is what I planned for my day versus what really happened almost every day because that's just how it happens. But no complaints because we here and we doing this. So welcome to May Live Day, day 2. Today's prompt is a day in my life, and we're gonna talk about what a we're gonna talk about what I think a day in my life should look like versus what it actually looks like. But yes, a day in my life running my crochet business full time because I am fortunate enough. That I do still get to do this full time. If this is your first time watching, if you are watching on the replay and you don't know who I am, my name is Yolanda Jordan. I am the doll designer behind My Pretty Brown Doll. I do specialize in brown dolls with natural hair inspired hairstyles. And I do also run My Crochet Life, where I give you a sneak peek at what it looks like to run my crochet business full time, as well as motivate you, encourage you to make money from your side hustle. I can also now add author to my name because I do have a book that is scheduled to be released on May 24th. If you have not pre-ordered your book yet, you can pre-order your book. It is available everywhere books are sold. Everywhere books are sold. It is scheduled to be released on May 24th. So I can add author to my name as well. Yay for that. So a day in my life as a full-time running my crochet business full-time. So what I think it should look like, because I am also a mom to a 10-month-old, and so it changes, you know, as the seasons change, as things change. What I think it should look like also changes. Like what a day in my life looked like 2 years ago versus what it looks like now is totally different. But what I plan for it to look like right now is hopefully I wake up about 30 minutes before my son gets up. I'm able to read, meditate, drink some water, brush my teeth, all of those good things before I have to get to him and do all the things with him. To be completely honest, most days I do not wake up before him. It's like that child can smell me and he knows when his mama is up. And baby, as soon as my feet hit the floor, I hear, and I'm like, really, child? Really? Now, some mornings I do just let him stay in there because I'm just like, child, I need a moment to get my mind right. I need a moment. And then other days I have to go right to him and go ahead and like we have to start our day together. But typically, I would hope that I can get up and do some of those things before he gets up. And that's normally around between 6:30 and 7. He is up and ready to go. Once he is up, me and him spend some quality time together. We are either watching like some YouTube. We might be doing some flashcards. We might be watching Bluey because he likes Bluey and we be watching Bluey. I know folks be like, oh, you let your 10-month-old watch TV? Yes, I let my 10-month-old watch TV. He fine. But we do watch Bluey. Bluey is educational. Bluey is helping me be a better mom. Okay. Bluey be teaching me some things about my own parenting skills. I be like, oh, that's how you do that, mom and dad? Okay, I see y'all. But no, so we might watch some Bluey. Again, it just depends on how he feels. Now, recently, about a month ago, I did enroll him into daycare for half a day, because I was just finding that I could not get anything really done with him being at home with me full time. And so I did enroll him into daycare. So once we get up, get dressed, I get him to daycare, I go get coffee, I come back home, and normally I try to answer emails and things like that I need to get done. So normally I try to answer whatever pressing emails I might have. I do have an Etsy shop, so if somebody has emailed me or something in my Etsy shop and they need something from me, I try to respond to those messages as well. DMs, I try to answer those. So I try to go through all the little places where somebody may have left me a message and try to respond to those messages. If I don't have a whole bunch of messages, or if the messages are just general, then I try my best not to get stuck in scrolling, because that happens too sometimes when you get on social media that early. Sometimes you can get stuck in the scroll, and I really try to be like, okay, no, don't get stuck in the scroll. I do have a to-do list every day that kind of helps me stay focused on what are the tasks that we need to get done today, Yolanda. So I do try to stay focused on that to-do list. Of course, things change. For example, today, I just knew my son was going to daycare today. I was ready for him to go to daycare today because daycare was closed on Friday. And I was like, boo, you just had a 3-day weekend. We is ready for you to go to daycare today. We get up. Now, if you saw him on the live yesterday, you know that I mentioned that he had like a runny nose. But I thought I was managed, like I had done got the little Frida suction thing. I was trying to get this runny nose under control. Thought I had it under control, because when he woke up, nose was dry. He was looking good. Like, yes, fool, you is going to daycare. Hunty, I don't know what happened, but he sneezed and snot went everywhere. And I was like, wait, what are we doing? What are we doing? And so I'm like trying to clean up his nose, and I'm like, was this just like a one-time thing and we can clean this up and you ready to go? No, honey, because he just started sneezing and nose just started running. And I was like, oh my gosh, I believe it's sinuses. I don't even think he's really sick. I think it's just sinuses, the pollen, the air, all of that good stuff that's causing. But you know, if I take him to daycare with a runny nose, they're going to call me back and tell me to come pick him up. And so I was just like, boo, we're not going to daycare today. So that just changed my whole plans, because when he does not go to daycare, then the focus now is not on what I have to get done. It's on what he will allow me to get done. And I try to take him in the room and kind of work with him. Like I have his playpen in the workroom. But again, it just depends, because sometimes he's for it and sometimes he's like, girl, if you don't get me out this thing. And then, like, again, just depending on if I'm working with yarn, he wants to pull the yarn, he wants the crochet hook. So again, it kind of just revolves around what's happening with him if he's home with me. Now, if he goes to daycare, like I said, my focus is on the list, and I am truly trying to run down that list and get as much done on the list as possible. I do, and some of you have heard me say this before, like if you follow me on my crochet life, you've heard me talk about this before, but I do try to focus on what I consider to be my money making activities. And those are things that will generate money for me. Like, so email lists. I do try to send out an email blast if there's something, like if I need to follow up via email with some folks, or if I need to send out a general email, compose that email, then that's going to be my focus. Posting in certain places is going to be my focus. Asking for the sale is going to be my focus. There are some other things that I am doing outside of my Pretty Brown Doll and my crochet life, and so in building those things, it requires me to be live in other places. And some of you have joined me in on those lives, like y'all found me and y'all was like, girl, what you doing over here? And so y'all have watched some of those lives with me. But doing some of those say, like going back to the basics and doing some of those basic things that are required in order to build this new brand and build this new business up the way that I want to. So these are all things like in my typical day. To be completely honest with you, there is not a lot of crochet going on. When I think about my typical day running my business, there is not a lot of crochet going on at all. Like even when crochet is on my to-do list, it normally ends up being one of the last things that I get to do. just because all the other things take precedent. Now, don't get me wrong, doing the crochet work is definitely a money generating activity, and it's definitely required in order for my business to survive. And sometimes I do have to tell myself, hey, you need to prioritize the crochet work before you do some of these other things, because the crochet work is just as important. But I think sometimes when you tell people that you have a crochet business, that they just assume that you are just crocheting all day, that you're just sitting back with yarn and you're just sitting on the couch watching TV, and that is not the case. If that is the case for you, then you might want to reevaluate how your business is working. Like, is this working for you? Because there are so many other parts and pieces that go into making this work that the crochet time is sometimes minimal. The crochet time is sometimes minimal. Now, like I said, mine should definitely be more than what it is. But because I have some of these other things going on, crochet just ends up being sometimes getting pushed to the bottom of the list. And I recognize that, hey, you're going to have to move crochet back to the top. And that's normally how I even work my to-do list. Like, if something is transferred from my to-do list for more than 2 days, one or two things needs to happen. Either the thing that's being transferred for more than 2 things has to be done on the 3rd day, or I just need to take it off the list altogether, because apparently it ain't as important as I thought it was. So let's say, for instance, I put on the list, go to the post office. And Monday comes and I'm like, go to the post office on Monday. Tuesday come, go to the post office on Tuesday. Wednesday come, either I'm taking my behind to the post office, or apparently whatever you're trying to ship is not that important. So that's my rule of thumb. Like, if it's transferred more than 2 days, then it's got to come off the list. Then it's I need to evaluate how important this thing is. So either I get it done or we take it off the list. But other than that, that's pretty much how my day goes. Right now, again, like I've said, y'all probably gonna get tired of me saying it, my day revolves around my son. Like, even, because it's dropping him off at daycare, getting as much done in that time period that he's at daycare, then going to pick him up from daycare, and then, if he happens to take a nap or something like that, doing, minimal things. But once I pick him up, it's a crapshoot for whatever else is going to get done that day once I pick him up. Now, one of my pet peeves about working from home full-time and having this business full-time is that other people assume that you ain't doing nothing and that you got all the time in the world to do all these other things for them. Like, I be having people call, hey, do you think you can stop at such and such and pick up this? Hey, do you think you can go by here and do this for me? Hey, no, ma'am, I'm working. Like, I know it's not the traditional type of work that you're used to. I know that I'm not clocking into anybody's clock, but I'm working. And no, I cannot go to the cleaners and pick up your cleaners. No, I cannot go by the grocery store and get your groceries. No, like, I even get people, now, if you call and say, boo, you will go to lunch. She can do lunch. If you call and be like, hey, you got time? I'm going to such and such for lunch. You want to go? She going to lunch. Okay. Call for lunch. Don't be calling me talk about, can you go to the liquor store and pick up no liquor? Because I don't drink like that. So, no, I can't go pick up no liquor. But I can go to lunch. So if you call and talk about, boo, let's go to lunch. Yes, let's go to lunch. But if you call it because you think I got all the free time in the world, then no. Or if you're calling to say, oh, what you doing? I'm working. I'm working. I'm working. Like, what do you mean? What am I doing? I'm working. Do you think these bills pay themselves? Like, I pay all my bills are paid. I pay my bills. Ain't that what the girl said? I pay my bills is paid. That's me. Like, but the reason I pay my bills and my bills is paid is because I really do work. I just happen to work from home. One of the things that I thought about this morning, like when I was supposed to be live this morning, but one of the things I did think about is that for those people who do say that they want to be able to work their business full-time, their creative business full-time, if you ask them the reason why, a lot of people say, oh, I want freedom. I want to be free. I want to have, time to do the things that I want to do. And I thought to myself, I said, but freedom comes with certain consequences or certain for me it does anyway. I think, and it's the way that you think about it. This freedom also came with a whole lot of flexibility. Like, I have to be very flexible about my time because of this freedom. And so, because I'm trying to think to myself, like, when I did have a regular 9 to 5 job, like when I worked a regular job, boo, I would have been fired by now if I operated on the same time that I operate now. Like, I would have been fired. But now I think about the fact that, I can make the choice and say my son's not going to daycare today, and he can stay home with me, and that's fine. Versus, and I don't have to worry about even trying to find another babysitter. Versus if I had a regular 9 to 5 job, that would not necessarily be an option. Like, how many times can I call and be like, oh, my son is sick, so I can't come in? Boo, you better find somebody to take care of your son because you don't work here. Like, no, we are not. That it don't work like that. But one of the freedoms that comes with me working for myself is that I get to say my baby ain't got to go to daycare today, and that's fine. And I don't have to worry about finding another babysitter for him. He can stay here with me, and that's okay. One of the other freedoms is I can say, boo, I'm going to lunch. I'm going to, like, I can say that. I'm going to lunch. And there's nobody that's going to be like, well, we need you at this meeting at 2 o'clock. Exactly, my God. What kind of free are you trying to be? Now, with that being said, here's the other thing that I will say. When we talk about what kind of free do you want to be, because the other meme that goes around is you left your 9 to 5 to work your business 24/7. You left your 9 to 5 to work your business 24/7. And I did not leave my 9 to 5 to work my business 24/7. Now, don't get me wrong. I love what I do. And I love the fact that I can do it anytime, anywhere. Like, I can make money anytime, anywhere. I love that. But I did not necessarily leave my job to work this job 24/7. And I think sometimes we have to get out of that mentality, and we have to be willing to say, what do I need to delegate? What do I need to give up? What do I need to let somebody else do so that this is not 24/7 for me? You cannot be and do all the things all the time, because you will burn yourself out. I 100% get it. If you're just getting started, if this is new to you, then baby, put in the blood, sweat, and tears. But at some point, you should be at a level where you can say, I ain't gotta do it. I can delegate this to somebody else, and that's okay. And that's okay. I can pay somebody else to do that for me. Prime example, I was wanting my websites redone, both of my websites, my Pretty Brown Doll and my Crochet Life. I have been saying I wanted them redone for a very, very long time. Now, I did both of them the first time, and they were both functional. They both worked. I made money from both of them with no problem. But I wanted them to look a certain way, and I was not able. No, let me take that back. I was able to achieve that look, but I didn't want to. I did not want to spend my time on trying to get my website to look the way that I wanted it to look. So I contacted somebody, and I was like, boo, excuse me, are you still doing websites? Because I got 2 of them that I need redone. How much do you charge? Here is your money. Thank you very much. And they look great. If you have not visited my Pretty Brown Doll or my Crochet Life in a while, go check them out. They were redone by Vonda Howard, and they are gorgeous. Thank you, Vonda, for doing such a beautiful job. Now, could I have done them both myself? Absolutely. Like I said, I did them both myself in the very beginning. But at this point in my business, that is not where I want to spend my time. I did not want to be sitting up late at night after Jordan goes to sleep trying to redo a website, when there's somebody who can do them for me for a fee. So I paid her fee, and she redid them, and they look great, and I'm happy with the end product. And it did not require any additional time from me. And so when we talk about what does a day in my life look like, truly decide what you want that to look like for you. What do you want that to look like for you? And what needs to happen in order for you to achieve it? in order for you to achieve it. On my personal page, I just asked, hey, I need a lifestyle photographer, because there are certain photos that I want when this book come out that I know that I'm not going to be able to take at my house. So let me put the word out, because I need a photographer. Like, we're not going to keep playing these. Like, there's a certain way that I want things to look. You can ask, her name is Rhonda Howard. I think she's in the group. You can ask. So she swear up and down she don't do websites. But you can ask. You can tell her that I referred you. Like, do a little name drop. Be like, Yolanda said, and she might. I can't make you no promises, because she be telling folks that she don't do them, but she do. And so if you want to contact Rhonda Howard, I will put her information in the description after this live, and you can definitely contact her. But again, think about what you want your business to look like. Or, you know, again, if you're doing it full time, whether you're doing it as a side hustle, even as a side hustle, how serious, hi Chandra, how serious are you taking this? Because it's only going to be as serious as you take it. And the work that's involved, yeah, she did my kind of thing as well. And you know, again, listen, I refer her all the time, and so I don't know who she says no and yes to. Hey Deandra, hi sweetie, thank you for joining. It is so good to see you. Listen, this Deandra, y'all want to talk about level up, baby, level up. Okay, it is so amazing to see her growth. If y'all and she changed her name. I know her as something else. I do know the new name too, but I don't want to mess it up. I recognize it when I see it. But when you talk about a level up and making your business the way that you want to see it, she's a prime example of that as well. Like, I've seen her go from one place to a different place based on, this is what I want my business to look like. This is what I want my day-to-day look like, because that baby girl got 3 children. And so how do you operate? And her 3 children are active 3 children. Like, these ain't 3 kids that just come home and play video games. Like, her children, football, basketball, cheerleading. I think her son ride the golf cart. Like, they do it all. And I you know, I already told baby Jay, listen, if you ain't like Deandra's son, baby, I'm gonna take you back. I need you out here doing all the things, little boy. And if you can't do all the things, we're gonna have to go back over to the hospital and be like, hey, excuse, I got the wrong one. I need one that be doing all the things. Okay? But no, seriously. I think it's Big Crown Customs, correct? Is that correct? Is that the correct name? Because I don't want to mess it up. Deandra, type your name of your business in here. But again, a prime example of making your life and your business look the way that you want it to look. Like, let me be clear. We only get to see snippets on social media. So we don't get to see the whole thing on social media. And I don't want anybody to be fooled by what it looks like on social media, which is one of the reasons why I try to come and I try to tell y'all the truth, the real, what it really looked like. That's why I'm streaming from a car, you know, because there is no fancy studio. It ain't no big microphone. It ain't no huge production over here. But one thing that I can say is that I am on the path to making my life and my business align. There's a certain way that I want this to look and work, and I'm on a path to make it look and work like that. Now, I know, because life has taught me, that it ain't gonna look like that every day. I know that. It ain't gonna look like that every day. But if I can get it close, if I can get it halfway, I'll be happy with that. If I can get it halfway, I will be happy with that. Hi, Arnika. Thank you for joining. It is so good to see some of y'all. See, this is why we do May Live a Day, because we be seeing folks who we ain't seen in forever. Hey, y'all. How y'all doing? But yeah, so a day in my life. You know, again, just being truthful, the days normally don't look the way that I plan for them to look. But let me be clear, my days ain't bad. These days over here are not like doom and gloom. And even when they don't look the way that I want them to look, I am very aware of the fact that I have the flexibility to just kind of flow with it. I have the flexibility to be like, oh, okay, Jordan is not going to daycare today, but we can still do this, and this. We still can make these things work even though he's not going to daycare. It made me, having a baby at 42 years old, made me change the whole trajectory of my business in general. Y'all don't see me as much. You don't get as much as me because my time is dedicated to something else. But like I said, still paying bills, still paid. My bills is paid. I pay my bills. Because even in changing that, I had to say, well, what needs to happen in order for me to still be able to do this on the level that I wanted to do it, but not necessarily be as present, not necessarily be as so much in your face. And there are certain things that I had to change, certain things that I had to do. You will see me a little bit more virtual. You will see more digital content from me. You will see more things that don't require as much of my time as the crochet work. But trust and believe, everything that she does, especially when it pertains to my pretty brown doll, we always gonna celebrate the pretty in every shade of brown. Always. That is not gonna change. We always gonna be here for the culture. She always gonna be black. Okay? I do not want there to be any confusion about that part right there. Whether it's a crochet doll, a tumbler, a cup, a coloring page, a pattern, baby, she's still here for the culture. That has not changed for my business, for my pretty brown doll, does not change. When it comes to my crochet life, she's still going to encourage you, motivate you to do to be great. I still believe that there is greatness within you. And so when you see me, even if you ain't seen me in a few weeks, even if you ain't seen me in a month or two, guess what? When she come on the scene, the message has not changed. I still think I'm great, and I still believe there is greatness in you. And I still believe that it's not fair for me to deny you of your greatness because I don't want to show up. I still believe those things. I still believe those things. I still believe that you have everything. You have everything that you need to create the life that you want. I still believe that, and I will always show up as that authentic Yolanda every single time. I don't care how much money she got. I don't care how many best-selling books she got. That's who you're gonna get every single time. Now she might come, with a new wig, little lip gloss. Might not have to stream from my car, eventually. But she still believes that you got everything you need to create the life you want. You just got to decide that you want to do that. Some of us got real comfortable and just being real comfortable. And I ain't knocking it. Because trust me, having a baby at 42 will humble you real quick. So I ain't knocking you being comfortable with being comfortable. But if you're not comfortable, if you are wanting something different, and you're just like, people are just like, oh, but I don't know what my baby, listen, you got everything you need. If you watching this, you got everything you need. Everything. And you have to make the decision. Oh, I'm willing to do this to get this. I'm willing to do this to do that. And so, and if you're not, you're not. And that's okay. Because some things I just said, well, I ain't willing to do that. Listen, it's some things I just said I ain't willing to do. I want to. If that's what this costs, I don't want to pay that price. And so we not going to do that. And that's a decision that you get to make. But then you don't get to complain about it. You don't get to complain. Like, you got to accept, okay, this is a choice that I made, and so this is what we're going to do. Right? Right. Okay, y'all. Welcome to May Live Day. This is what it's going to be. This is day 2 in the books for y'all, okay? A day in my life. A day in my life is, baby, you don't never know what you're going to get. It's like a box of chocolates. You don't never know what you're going to get. That's what a day in my life is. It is like a box of chocolates. But I am fortunate enough that I'm able to roll with the punches. I'm fortunate enough that, baby, she can fall down 9 and get up 10. Okay? Because some people can't. She can fall down 9 and get up 10. So even when it is like, I'm fortunate enough that it does not look like what it has been. Fortunate enough. And I'm fortunate enough to know that at any moment it could change and be something different. At any moment. At any moment it can change and be something different. And I know that. And I operate accordingly. I operate accordingly. All right. So, day 2, day in my life, May Live Day 2022. We doing this. We doing this. Thank y'all for joining. If you're watching the replay, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to click the notification bell. Don't forget to go and watch some of my other videos that's up. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Hopefully, according to the plan. Because I do have a schedule. I actually do have a plan. These 2 days, we 2 days in and it ain't went to plan yet. 2 days in and it ain't went to plan yet. We'll see about tomorrow. Y'all enjoy the rest of your evening and I will see you tomorrow.